They're the more traditional route of the Killjoy, which I also agree on that. Vipers on both sides, you know what's going to expect with those walls. And it looks like TEC do want to take a bit of an opening aggressive push to try to get some forward pressure already through B. Got the sentry turret at mid to try to keep that honest. And yeah, T-Virus right here in the corner may get some action after that little double happens through the middle.
Okay, the practice range diff from Tech, just the 3K off mid. Okay, the Sentinel diff is insane. Abo, welcome.
Yeah, that was dirty. I'm here for it. Let's get going. Round 3, action ensues over. And how about the Sheriff play from TEC? Another one goes through, but again, the riflery a little bit too strong as Heretics are able to trade things back to a 4v3.
Yeah, Tech just not playing that far back to B, and deciding to switch things up, play forward, and punish Heretics as they were trying to use their own Viper wall and be a pivot towards A. And Abo's built different. Usually it was the Sheriff, though. This time it's with the Stinger, and he had the first blood last round, including a 3 or 4K in the pistol, so all eyes are on Abo.
Yeah, and the setup is really perfect for a Stinger right here. You've got all of your utility starting with an alarm bot off to your perspective left. Nano Swarm's behind you to give you an exit. So everything is looking solid here. Knife does come through. Doesn't seem to reveal, though, onto where exactly Abo is. So is there a chance to get the Stinger into play? But no.
Beautiful
Heretics get 2, and that should be a plant and likely the round.
Another day at the office for Heretics. Being able to solve all your tech issues and then kind of shake off what happened in the first 2 rounds and using the Viper walls of the enemy against them. Okay. Good catch from Haodong. Wait, 1 versus 3. 3-in's kind of low. But it's not very winnable with where the spike is ticking at. But hey, you want to farm up the ult.
Yeah, and it's also try to force some repurchases. That's the other big news about this. Try to make this bonus feel a little bit more potent. And yeah, outside of a couple of armor tags there at the end, nothing more to be tallied in terms of the kill feed overall. Puts a little bit more pressure. Does Minibu commit the paranoia here to put a little bit of extra, hey, we're still here kind of pressure onto TEC, or will they wait and just try to scale and lurk once they eventually hit some presence at A? And there we go. That's enough. That's going to keep the defense even more securely planted onto B. Should be a wide open A site.
And Tech just already got alerted to the A push of rotations coming in hot. And Lucas has 1 shock bolt left and wants to be at the front door to try and straight through and prevent the plan, but Benji, the ultimate backup plan. Great support from Heretics. They have been a threat on the A side.
Yeah, that's an expensive round right there for Titan. Flawless for Team Heretics, but more importantly, you bleed out the pockets of Titan completely with that operator being called into the picture.
Yeah, Heretics just had a good set play. Maybe it just comes down to that early round. And speaking of that, you had the Coco knife being thrown towards deep into B main, droning up. Heretics is going to discover maybe T-Virus. No,
yeah,
maybe.
I think they saw the head one.
Be able to dash out. Worst case. No, T-Virus is here to stay, ready to infect Heretics. And the second kill, too, before the trade. And a lot of distractions when you have the Hunter's Fury from Lucas thrown into the picture.
Yeah, that's a great call there, Jed. I mean, it really is just T-Virus is dead to rights. I mean, you use everything. You do ski just enough of him with the Aldrin. You commit the null command saying you cannot dash out. You have to hold your ground here. You separate a touch with the Hunter's Fury, but then you get 2 from T-Virus, Luke, which is just unbelievable out of him. So great stuff for Titan to bounce back. And it will be a Stinger added to the picture. Deep recon bolt. Luke is going to step up to try to keep earning back that Hunter's Fury he used in the previous round, but the suppression off the knife from the offensive side is key, and yeah, Luke just gets a little bit caught playing too far forward at screens, so first blood tallied for Team Heretics.
It's really good information off the boot knife, getting that ping, and Tech just couldn't escape. Just wanted to see if they could surprise Heretics in kind of a one-and-done type of spot. T-Virus and Lucas now have to leave things off to Coco, who's just going to get locked down out of the A site.
And I wonder if this is just going to be TEC try to play for some passive angles on the backside of Rafters here. And if you don't find anything, then just forfeit the round away. You don't really have a great retake tool unless you find one and can use the null command. But they are going to step a little bit forward into Rafters. Split the difference on ropes. Abo down low, trying to get something out of the crossfire setup, but yeah, nothing there. And TEC get absolutely wiped off the floor with another flawless round for Team Heretics. That's it. Can't go any further.
In worst case, you can give the spike to Minibu and you could teleport to B, so you're kind of leaving your options open for Heretics.
Yeah, the thing about that call, though, is you just don't have any information on B at all. You even see like an
until you
offensive
get
ping.
there, yeah.
An offensive ping goes over to Closet, so they know that this could potentially be a play. Luke misses his first shot, though. Haodong kicks things off with a lurking play.
And that's good that you're able to dash out at least, keep that up, and keep that power position, but there is going to be a flank to worry about, and Heretics have to just evacuate all because of this lockdown, and you're still trying to get a plant off, and it's not going to happen.
Nope. Clean. That, again, that's just, you know, in terms of how Titan set that round up, you know, you get all that early dump of utility from Heretics onto the A orb. Boo could technically try to rotate into A and drop the Viper's Pit, but now they're going to wrap back quickly to B, and this is just an angle that you don't love the look of. If you don't have anything to clear this, it's just going to really lean to Haodong's direction, and Boo's in some trouble now all of a sudden.
See Viper off, and Haodong almost had really nice timing, just got caught off guard and forces Heretics to recenter themselves at A, and T-Virus still at
nice shot.
Oh, the Colette is insane! And he holds on more, the dash, and Heretics are on the chase, but they find themselves on their backs, and Tech, I should say, close to tying things up.
What a frickin' play from Coco. Just Jet getting enabled by Coco, setting things up. You help out just to try to watch that cross. T-Virus, the micro moment from Jet to also just kind of blind out that recon dart. Don't give away your position. You have to hit your shot, and you do. Full purchase still in hand, though, here for Heretics. Like you mentioned, lots of key ultimates ready. Most in particular, you do have things like the Viper's Pit and the Hunter's Fury, and then Minibu just an off angle up top. We'll go 1-for-1. Good trade, though, from Haodong. Can back up and lock down the site with the Viper's Pit of his own now.
Yeah, for Heretics to just slow it down so you're...
You can see what that's done to Titan Esports. They continue to put a little bit of pressure over towards green, but more in particular, they're moving their Killjoy utility around to try to deal with that. And as you see the recon bolt come out, that's enough for Haodong to commit. Hunter's Fury trying to break down this Viper's Pit. Just comes down to will this actually be a commitment here for Riyadh to get onto site. The knife doesn't see much, the flash doesn't do too much. So the Owl Drone has to find success here. Otherwise, you might find some sort of a late pivot back over to A.
And the drone is going through the pit, trying to get a ping on that Viper, and you can try to get the perimeter, but you're just going to fight fire with fire, overlaying both on top, and it's the up in the middle of the pit that's getting picks, and T-Myers comes alive, but Dance is against trouble, and it's Heretics down for the count.
That is forcing a square peg into a round hole right there if you're Team Heretics.
Well, ask it, you shall receive. I wanted to see the impact of this op, and through all the pits.
Wow.
It's crazy. Oh, wait, Minibu's gonna stick this? He's insane. And he's been spotted, at least knows where the op is, but there is a 3 versus 2 engagement on the front lines of B main, and Coco gets away with 2 before Benji finishes off that story in a good way.
Watch out for Abo. Quick on the rotation underneath Tube, can try to stop this plant with Nanos. You also have the Hunter's Fury to break this down. Absolutely perfect read from Titan to deal with that quick from the shadows teleport.
Oh, Tech, it's...
You should run.
The C stands for clutch, I think. The spike's left behind, and we're pretty much going to be looking at a 7-5 half. Lockdown, Benji, 1 versus 3. An op at B-Link, and Snowman being droned out. Lucas. Benji recovers the spike, no lockdown detains. Trying to force Abo out of cover. Spike being tapped. There is the swing, and Abo's looking so good today. So good from Titan Esports. Just the quick reaction. This is where they really struggled yesterday versus RRQ. Create a little bit of doubt. They also need to be careful of the flank as that turret that was placed, that closet was dealt with at range early through A. And yeah, T-Virus is trying to take a peek to see where the defense is. He gets punished. 5v4 Heretics scaling forward, retaking not just the B site, but some key positions here at yellow. Kind of indecision. It looked like Tech were trying to re-clear through their own spawn. Yeah, they had to because the sentry turret was destroyed. Yeah, it's really tough. Now have to fight for yellow box control and just the solo swing, and the recon is a distraction, and oh my god, Benji and Boo do their best, and their best is enough. The pistol goes to Heretics. Yeah, really good stuff right there for Heretics. Again, they dump all of their utility, which there's not a lot purchased, obviously, for a pistol. You resist the play at B, but I think, again, just kind of most importantly, and I'm glad that we caught it, it was that opening battle, Ghost versus Sentry Turret at Closet, where TEC, that's their flank watch. And I think this, again, like this utility and the weaponry plus the armor situation is not as comfortable for TEC as you'd like. This is everything you would want to see if Heretics were to pull off something like a bonus.
So we'll see if they can find a way to muster that, as Lucas will connect onto first blood, off angle from Manibu punished. And if you can delete the sentry turret, you might be able to call some of these defenders off the site, which is important. Knife will reveal a couple, but the long peek does not work out, and now Titan can just run forward. Yeah, no chance there for Boo, and it'll be a comfortable purchase win here for Titan.
Yeah, Tech revealing their numbers and overwhelming Heretics in that encounter, and Benji's left with a lot on his plate to finish. 1 versus 3. Not a lot of time to do so.
And no rifles here for him to collect. All of the offensive bodies are just too far away.
Hiding away, Coco can make first contact, of course with a flash too, with Haodong ready to swing, and Wei Benji gets one, not the other, and it's Tech back in the lead. The lead just keeps changing.
Yeah, but for a bonus, you're going to take that. I think if you're Team Heretics, you know, you're able to force out 3 repurchases. Granted, the plant's going to make things a little bit more comfortable for Titan, plus, of course, to try to contest it.
Yeah, that's crazy pressure out of Heretics, but how long can they really keep this up for? Because this KO don't have a dash the way that the Jet does. Of course, you're not even running a duelist, so, well, you just get to escape the old-fashioned way, and Tech are being patient. We'll see if that pays off.
Well, up and over goes the Jet. Lucas for 1 on the trade, but Riyadh's just getting the job done on the low ground. It's good for 3 before eventually being shut down. Boo, last one, standing now in the 1v2, rotating from the other site. This should be a post plant. Just comes down to where do you want to set it up if you're Tech.
The Heretics had some good cutoffs. As soon as you saw that dash pass, they cut off the reinforcements, and there's some duels on the front line. Tech still stands, but for how long? Wait a minute, Boo. No 1 versus 2, now make it only 1. And it's against that star duelist. T-Virus has been on one today. Now you kind of force him to play close to the spike because of that wall. Now that that's gone, spamming through the box, Boo will touch the spike, and T-Virus will put him to bed.
Yeah, great stuff from Tech. Just trying to create something here if you're Rien's blindly over towards Closet with Heretics, not really playing forward on B this time. But with that clearance, Boo will step up, and the rest of the numbers of Heretics will stack on towards A.
Kind of a YOLO type of Hunter's Fury, especially when you didn't get anything off the Woot knife that early, but A side is popular, and so is Woot after a shot like that, and Riens has been holding it down for A, and wait a minute, a thrifty opportunity, and Abo is dead too. What a round for Heretics.
Absolute momentum changer right there. Causes maybe a little bit more of a, I won't say like a concern, but it does raise an eyebrow because you're going to need help for it. Dark cover comes through over the top. Luke going to dash right past the flash. Benji for 1, and the opening engagement solid here for Tech, who have still not lost eyes on A, with Albo watching over the top of it.
That's the strength of having that Jet, being able to access that high ground a lot easier and be as aggressive and fast like that. You didn't let that paranoia and any development come out of Miniboo because he was still placing a smoke, and Tech will go to plan B, aka the A site. Pressure back through screens. Great opening shot from Woot. Riens, the teamwork is next level of their impact at being the anchors for A. And Woot against 2. Haodong and T-Virus with the spike getting planted and nothing for Woot to really use.
And he's uneasy about the flank, so this is going to be really peculiar to see how he puts himself in a position to handle this 1v2.
Has to go and explore. And health draining. As already could put shots in, so he alerts Tech to his presence. Not even gonna tap the spike, and Haodong peeks in, double digits for Tech.
Yeah, really good stuff there from Tech, and it's almost exactly as...
Use it the enter or use it for the post plan. I would say post is looking pretty good, unless Benji's got something up his sleeve, and you always can fight fire with fire, lockdown with lockdown. We already had 2 pits. What about second lockdown?
Keep in mind you can deny the offensive post-plant lockdown with a well-timed null command of your own, so watch that long wrap back through mid at the moment.
And the Hunter's Fury 2 at a distance. Lucas is going to keep himself safe. And here is Heretics cutting through the link. The smoke's in place to try and separate T-Virus from the rest, and it's the first lockdown, I believe, from Benji, and then the other. Okay, and now all the cards are on the table as Tech hopes to protect the spike, and a beautiful 3K from Haodong seals the deal for Tech.
That is absolutely brilliant, especially just, again, the knowledge and the wherewithal of Abo to sit here and say, okay, we've gotten about half of this plant gone. time is going to be an issue here for Heretics. We haven't seen the lockdown yet. You know that Benji Fishy's close by. You know, more importantly, that Woot is rotating off of A. So you call in the lockdown right before the KO gets there. A step too far, and that will be enough for him to back off. But again, Heretics defense will appreciate the forward position at A, allowing themselves to commit more resources and eyes of attention in other places, including an Aldrone, which does see Luke up top on tube. Hunter's Fury, bold, but does connect the first. Doesn't get the full elimination, doesn't need to. Woot gets the kill. Last shot for Riyadh to make sure no one's playing through A, and that will make sure that Minibu feels pretty confident staying up top on ropes.
That's tough. That Hunter's Fury just clipped the shoelaces of T-Virus as they thought he had enough height on it. And Tech have their lure concern at A that can maybe wrap around, and despite all the space that Tech had made at B, they're swapping.
Yeah, the thing about this, though, is they don't know that Minibu's still playing up top here. So they're sitting here saying Lucas has cleared out all of A. He gets shut down. And with 38 seconds, you kind of have to commit. And Minibu's completely unnoticed. Hi, how are you? Easy follow-up in with no more action. And that knife not revealing anything. The defense will quickly rotate back over to see if they can help out Boo on the other side of the map, who's in a 1v2 by himself at the moment.
Yeah, that's a decision that's going to haunt Tech. Just that indecision is, it's not the first time we've seen that out of Tech. And 1 versus 4. Heretics are still in this. They'll get to double digits at an arm's reach of Tech. Taodong is taken care of. And Heretics get to still keep 4 of those guns, which is important considering how broke they kind of are.
Yeah, and I don't know if I classify that round as indecision for Tech. I think it's just kind of unlucky. A little bit later with a deeper knife if they want to try to see if Tech are still here or not. And they'll get the information they want.
All right, that smoke clears and it's time to move if you're T-Virus. Of course, when that suppression is over, of course, and Woot will have a fun angle to use and spotted the jet. And okay, the flash is out. The drone won't ping Woot, and he falls back, but his omen's revealed, and Minibu, all the initiators working together.
Man.
That's a big first blood for T-Virus. Dodges a paranoia, won't be able to dash in. And Heretics hold the wall.
Follow-up knife, though, for the offense reveals both. So you just have to try to find a way to execute and break down this setup. Reveal is out. Minibu caught. And now knives to try to put this over the finish line for Tech as they're going to get the plant.
All right. Heretics have to save themselves here. And they still have rotations from Boo from the other side of the map. And Heretics only have so much time they can kill. Abo has been pinged. The shock bolt doesn't get damaged, but it is trying to force some movement. The double watch from Tech. The top door. Rians is going to need help. He needs luck. And Benji does cause a ruckus. And it's all over for Heretics. Tech take map 1.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff out of Tech since the post-timeout action that we kind of called upon.
Super aggressive dash in, go kill it. He really had to take his time to be so well supported by his initiators before he could get all those first kills. So T-Virus was very patient today. To give themselves a map win, it's going to be some C pressure initially. Yeah,
just to kind of speak to the history for all you nerds out there, the Heretics have not dropped this map since February. So it's been good, it's been clean, it's been pretty much perfect across all of EMEA. A little bit of pressure here at C. Paranoia at the ready. Here comes the retake quickly. Boot able to find one, Benji another, and the trade's good for Heretics as they're going to finish things off swiftly.
That sparked a lot of energy, a lot of hype from the Heretics side. They had me jump scared too.
Because he could technically jump into A if you lose long and then just pop the double tap shield and try to stay on as long as humanly possible with support from Boo, who does get taken down by Abo, just right in the corner, even though the judge usually wins that battle. And for Heretics, they're going to put a little bit of responding pressure back through mid, keep Tech a little bit softer on the A site. Contingency comes through, and that will be an opportunity here for Minibu and Woot to try to work their way back onto site.
Yeah, the plot armor for Abo is strong. Haodong will be in hell, and Tech have all their corners checked and a crossfire. They do shoot the Yoru clone. There's the ISO wall leading, and Heretics haven't committed yet. Trying to still assess the positioning. You get the ping on the one. Woot tries to check the corner, but the smoke really messes things up for Heretics.
Random headshot through smoke, but shouldn't make much of a difference here. There's no way that Woot goes for this. So, yeah, really good from Tech. Again, I have to say this one more time. I promise I won't be a broken record. Tech needs to continue to win the isolation battle on A-Long. If they can put pressure on A-Long like that, it's going to, again, force decisions in terms of how long does Minibu want to stay, when does he actually force the gate crash back to try to play off the middle of the map.
allows Heretics to stack over at A, which has been a lot of the action for Tech.
Yeah, and this is the power of playing the Euro here, is if things start to feel weird, you can just teleport back, and yep, that's exactly right. Now you're all of a sudden your backside garage. So you win that A long battle. Tech not really giving it much of an effort this round, and Woot will also find first blood on the cross through B main. So big advantage here early for Tech's defense. Only real resistant point would be here at mid, but Woot covers it nicely and resets the double tap shield again.
Yeah, just plot armor not helping Apple this time when you're caught mid-jump and your aim gets all messed up, but Tech could still end up at A, and you never know what Lucas can accomplish, but the Cypher Cam will spot him at B nonetheless. Whoa. And kill contract. There is Woot against Howdong, and steady Woot with 3 this round. And allows Heretics to just extend this and to bring as many rifles as they can into the next. Because of that, of course, lurk from Lucas. That was from B mid to all the way to C. Hope to get the spike down as quickly as possible.
Benji's watching this, and Lucas has to make a play, and he does. Ooh. That's pretty pivotal. This makes this round, I mean, I hate to say the word winnable because it's still a 4v2, but it allows Lucas to go a bit rogue. And if he finds another isolated win, maybe there starts to become something of a chance because the Hunter's Fury will then be earned.
He's so aggressive and maybe needs to come back and help his breach, and he gets caught extending way too far out of sight. And now this is really cooked this round for Coco unless he gets fun timing on the flank, but he's kind of loud with it. Now hearing members on the spike and on the other side of the site, and the defuse is going to be held, and Heretics go to 3.
Yep, and I get it there in terms of what the opening setup is for Titan. You're trying to kind of make some noise, create some distraction at mid because you're choosing not to play through A long off the get-go when the barriers drop. Trying to find an advantage there as the Owl Drone is early spent and early taken down. And look at the stun again. Heretics quickly onto site, trying to contest.
I was going to say the post play would have been strong, but the Hunter's Fury is brought out early to just help support T-Virus as best as you can. It gets Heretics scrambling, but they fight back with their own paranoia. Heretics are just shooting so well. And Tech, the numbers seemed even. And going blow for blow, it's now a 2 versus 2, and Lucas tries to carve through the left side, but with Boo standing in his path, won't be dissuaded by the Yoru clone, and it's Lucas that clutches.
It's a hell of a hold from Tech on the site. Hunter's Fury was perfectly utilized by Lucas as soon as you get T-Virus up on top of the box at C. As you also saw Howdong just trying to put a little pressure on the opposite side of the map as we get quickly into an A hit, at least towards long.
Howdong is going to keep it, but could not sneak up on Boo. One Omen still remains in the paranoia throne, just in case Tech were hoping to follow up with their Omen. So the orb is grabbed, and another decision will be made from Tech as the Abo is gone too. So this round's not looking too good for Tech.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Titan back off of this and see if they can get the C-long orb for Coco. But Neural Theft will be spent. That will reveal, of course, that everyone is still playing up towards A, which is enough for Miniboo to step up with the operator and make sure there is no exit, forcing Tech to have to commit onto A.
Now Tech have to watch their back, and big info advantage for Heretics. Numbers too. Let's see what Miniboo can cook with the op, and he's not even gonna get out of that small room, hoping to escape through the window, and he doesn't even has to teleport still, so Tech chasing it down. Second one for Miniboo. It's hunting season, but Coco cracks him like an egg. The op is dropped in Coco, now 1 versus 4.
He does have the Rolling Thunder, but not likely you'd assume he pulls that here unless he gets a couple of kills randomly, which almost had a chance at re-ends. Shock Dart will land to chunk out some of the damage from Shield. Benji drops, and then over the top Woot finishes things off. So 5-2 the count, and another moment where it's just, you see how it is supposed to develop.
The Neural Theft was such a huge advantage for Heretics as the mid-rounding came in from Tech. Now the knives are out for Lucas, or Luke.
Hold on, this is an interesting crossfire. We haven't seen this yet from Heretics, and it works out beautifully. Absolutely beautiful.
Spike down A.
Once again, Heretics cooking things up with these first bloods, and Tech keep having to pull a rabbit out of their hat to salvage these rounds. And with the spike being down, Heretics are gonna drone and still see that it's down. A paranoia, the aftershock to try and buy some space for Coco.
Yeah.
Now the spike soon, maybe giving that to Lucas would have been nice, but he's off on an adventure again, and Boo's looking for the ace, and he gets it, and scares the heck out of Tech going forward, tripling their score.
Yeah, that's big. 6-2 now the count, and things start to become a little bit dire for Titan. You do have a Rolling Thunder and a lockdown here in this upcoming round with not a lot to counter that unless Riyadh finds a pick to get the Hunter's Fury. So advantage in this round, and let's just call it what it is. It's a must-win round here for Titan. But in that last round with the knives looking with the kill potential, you're sitting here and you're hoping that you can kind of catch off that.
Yeah, Lucas separating away from the flock to put it on himself to be the big playmaker. Just joining now the team, and it's another first blood going Heretics' way. And now they'll be able to pinch into Tech, who find themselves within C, trying to Rolling Thunder through the front side. Tech playing front-facing, but not getting anything.
This is tough because you know C-Long is not in your hands, so you have to play up through Garage, which you also have not really fully cleared out yet. This is, again, a little shaky in terms of the ground that Tech are playing the post plant off of, but you do have a lurk starting to develop here, at least for a moment. Abo does get taken down. T-Virus is low, tries to catch Riyadh with the bow out, and will. So now the only play available for Heretics is to try to hit this back from C-Long.
Ooh, could be fun timing from Coco. And yes, the double kill to convert. But Boo from an ace to an 1v1. But T-Virus is so low, the spike's gonna get tapped. And T-Virus doesn't finish off the job, and it's halfway and not enough. And T-Virus saves it for Tech.
Yeah, great round for Titan. The most important elimination for me in that round is taking care of Woot on that corner by the defender spawn towards C entry. Allows Tech to find a little bit more footing and a little bit more real estate. Early Hunter's Fury, that's over towards the backside of C-Long, and it connects for a first blood. Virus is in trouble. He'll drop to Benji. And Tech have seen this opening execute go completely wrong.
It's not the first time or the last time Riyadh is just gonna open up the round with these Hunter's Fury and just...
You know, I don't want to say that Titan gave up on it too soon, but they kind of did. And when you deal with an ISO that has the ability to kind of freely roam as they see fit, it just makes that agent that much more potent with the ability to throw things out like contingency and walls and things of the nature, like right here. Abo's suppressed. Coco's weak, trying to get into sight. Sound trigger on the cyber cage. Lockdown's here, but honestly for Heretics, they just don't give a toot. They don't care about that lockdown, and it's just too simple.
Things got hectic at the end, especially just coming through Garage and just...
I'm here for that.
Last round of the half, by the way, so at least we'll have the halftime. Make sure the fires are out, but T-Virus trying to start some fire over at B, and he just can't win that against Boo. Love to see that Boo is having such a good game from, of course, the ace to having that opening first blood for Team Heretics.
This Hunter's Fury is in a really weird spot. You're going to have an opportunity here to get back in if your Team Heretics. How long backside Gong is good. There's the kill contract being spent forward. And Minibu just saying, hey, how are you? Abo gets pulled into the kill contract. Spike does not end up getting into play. And it's going to be just down to Lucas. It's a cheeky idea for Tech trying to find something new and fresh. But it does not work. 9-3. Any cursors in chat?
I love to hear Heretics just get the energy going back again. I don't think the Tech issue was on their side, so they're just happy to be here. And
can be very, very difficult just in terms of how you slow down the pace and tempo of when the hit does develop, which at the moment is looking like it's going to go for an initial poke at B. Crossfire set up on the way, and actually T-Virus just spamming through the smoke. That'll work out. Double tap comes in late, and it gets broken. Ooh. So nice stuff there from Luke.
Who needs two duelists when you just got one really good one? Big double kill for Tech, but Boo still will break in. But now that you got all the attention of Tech, Heretics are going to pivot to one of the many sites here on Haven. Yeah.
Just difficult to know with any sort of confidence where you want to head towards. The spy cam being behind a lobby will have them leaning over for an initial look at A. I say initial, it's going to be a last second look at A. And it looks like Titan are going to play for the retake. So 3v4 situation, not unwinnable here for Heretics. This comes down to at what point does Lucas get into the top side of Heaven? Can he get a read on where the post plant would be set up at? Can you tally the information? These are not comfortable peaks, but he does have a recon bolt and a shock dart, which could make things very difficult. You hear it again, the bow down low. Benji going to be flooded, and that'll work out for another follow-up. Tech looking good, and they will follow things up nicely with a Lucas double kill.
What a flood in from Tech, and Lucas, the shots are looking clean, has not slowed down, has not missed a beat.
little bit more potent and a little bit more stalwart onto whatever site they decide to play on. And Tech are going to see if they can find some sort of an opening pick here with a quick flash play over to a long. Works! That's beautiful for Luke.
He just does it again. And this is the version of T-Virus Luke that I wish we saw yesterday. Now it puts you in an elimination match, but one last chance, and Tech are in full swing and full motion, because a lot of the first bloods, I feel like in the first half, went Heretics' way. And we'll see. We'll break down the stats later on, of course, but Tech are willing this win into existence if they can, and Heretics just can't withstand.
Unbelievable resiliency here from Titan, and again, it starts with that double tap over towards A. You get that first blood, it allows you to stack up somewhere else, and that place is here at Garage with an SMG, a little bit of team fire coming through off the connector. You now have a 5v3, and honestly, the options here for Heretics are limited to largely either a rogue play from Boo or trying to force something into B where you don't really have good clearance utility. And as I start to break it down, Boo does drop, and the door has largely shut here on Heretics. Huge opportunity here for the bonus to come through and Titan to bring this game back to tight.
Right here.
Saving the 2 rifles is...
Needs to establish their own tempo, and it needs to establish that the burst of this composition is something that Titan need to put a response to as they're in full purchase.
The streak could continue for Tech with a mixed buy situation, 2 pistols out of Heretics. Using the ISO wall to just lead in, follow up with Boo, who's gonna have to hold it down, and he clutches and holds it solo, and now Heretics can stack onto the site, and Coco is being proactive.
Wow.
He gets his one. And Heretics with a clean round despite not having everyone with rifles.
Yeah, initially the spam that comes through the choke point at C from Titan looked like it was going to be enough to kind of stop the play as the double tap. I don't know if it still stayed integral on that next kind of play, but Woot didn't look all that comfortable coming on the site. But the thing about it is you had everyone else, in particular Boo, who teleports to the top side of the box.
What an incredible talent Lucas is. Turns 18, joins VCT, and young IGL making the whole difference for Tech. A 180 from day one as Heretics want to make a big finish here. And it's that deep into the site. A kill contract will kidnap one. Woot against Coco. And Woot has pretty much, I think, converted every single kill contract.
Yeah, he's been good. I mean, let's be honest. It's tough to beat an ISO at that type of an advantage with a shield in play. But he has been solid, and Heretics not going to allow that little moment of euphoria for Titan to last all that long. Unless.
No. I was like, wait, how is he moving and aiming when one of his... How many hands does Haodong have? But that's... But Haodong will just keep the gun, especially at 0 credits.
But that little bit of a hit towards Heaven, plus the decoy maybe has Tech leaning a little bit towards A, but here comes that walk down. Nanostorm placed on the corner will slow this up just a touch. Hunter's Fury for the offense, trying to cut this back. Also the reset coming through for the defense.
Ooh, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a Hunter's Fury perhaps, and good suppression from Tech, but the numbers in Heretics' favor, but Haodong with the big double could convert this for Tech. And the spike is down, and Riyadh has to reunite with Mini Boos coming through double doors. Droning up to play from safety now.
They know they have spike. That's the big key here. So Heretics have to find a way to sneak on into sight. Good reveal into Haodong deep, but the response for Lucas clears the front side of the site. Now it's just down to Riyadh.
Oh, Lucas, he's such a hero when you need him the most for Tech. And luck and main character energy on his side, and Riyadh can't clutch, and Tech live on within now 3 rounds of Heretics.
That was a beautiful small adjustment to how Titan were going to try to guard on C. Meanwhile, Aldrone's going to find a little bit of intel here with a triple stack of defenders for Titan. They are set up perfectly.
Tech are not taking any risks to peek out against Heretics, but you are giving them some space to get in. A teleport from Mini Boo, but the smoke that came out isolated that duelist. And Tech just held the crossfire. A has been impossible for Heretics to penetrate. And Tech will not allow them to trade them around.
T-Virus has 9 flippin' lives. He has been revealed for 90% of these offensive hits from Heretics. Because any avid enjoyers of EMEA Valorant would say Heretics up 8-4 at the half. Oh, they win, especially with offense coming up. But Titan is fighting back and fighting back with some major resistance. Double tap's been popped open here for Heretics, trying to get some early aggression through Sewer. How Dong. Oh, he breaks the shield and finds the headshot on top of that. Paranoia to cut off the choke point, and Heretics don't even have a chance to get the kill contract in. And this round may be moot.
Many first bloods from Tech over at this A side. These anchors, just untouchable. You had Coco into the mix. Feels like Heretics have to pivot, but they don't have a lurk. They'd have to re-clear. They'd have to take the time to do so. And Abo is on the flank, but there's trips that'll get in his way. So Heretics have to focus on one thing, and that's to win this round. Work off the info they can, and it's the exchange. But Lucas and Coco do all the work, and it's Boo left to pick up all the pieces and the spike.
Whoa, I don't know if we need that. Yeah, I was gonna say, we got a fault line. I don't think we need to commit the Rolling Thunder for this, but no, it looks like they are gonna just, again, try to get this to an 11-11 count. Boo teleports away safely, wins the first 1v1 with Coco. No, not gonna happen. And it's 11-11, make a wish.
Coco, that was so important. Shakiness in the Heretics camp. It's come down to the wire, these 2v2s, and Woot tries to make the space off the wall, the shock bolts.
Doesn't hit the shield.
Now a Hunter's Fury on the offense, the red carpet, laid in blood, it's first blood, but Coco double kill? What?
Again, revealed and damage, it doesn't make a damn difference, 3v2. They're gonna reset, okay. Have to take a breath here. And the thing about it is, you're looking at Boo from the shadows thinking, was there maybe a chance for him to teleport to C? But I don't know if they know that Abo had already gotten onto the site at A, so everything has to come to a momentary pause. Cool the jets. Titan gonna hold hands through mid, and they may make contact here, Jen.
And it all comes down to this, and Heretics have to lock in, and with at least the power of friendship, they just gotta focus on also getting this round and the spike planted. And Haodong and Abo, previous teammates from EDG on Tech, looking to make the biggest upset at EWC happen. From underdogs to top dogs, it's Tech on the other side of a smoke.
Dark cover replaced.
On the other side of the odds as well. That's Heretics, the spike is dropped! It's all up to Riyadh! Oh, and he gets it, okay, he gets Abo. It's the ultimate showdown. And Haodong, couple seconds left, around it locks! Heretics, OT!
See if you can move the defense around a touch. Are you going to save everything? Aldrone sent over towards Garage and towards B main, simultaneously speaking. Nanostorm in the corner. Do they have the idea that someone's playing close and tight on the door? This could be massive. But no, Abo doesn't predict it. Miniboo will have first blood, and that shuts down the play towards Garage. And now all of a sudden, if you're Tech, you kind of have to go back over to A, where Boo has been seen.
Stealing sight.
Miniboo just wanted to go for the safer play. I thought he was going to maybe think about flashing out if Tech were going to keep trying to hit B. Now it's a Paranoia leading Tech into an A hit. The recon gets the attention of Tech. Heretics have limited info. Tech get deeper into sight. This ISO is everything. Woot with a big double. Riyadh's anchors for Heretics. And it's Lucas against the world. Low HP, a hemorrhaging Heretics that wins it in the end.
Luke, we have not seen a walk down through grass yet. And he's playing just inside this dark cover. Haven't seen this before. Both of them! Virus gets both. That's before you see the double tap come through. Not able to survive to the follow-up, but job done.
No duelist. The Heretics have any hope after that? And trying to defend B with the limited numbers. How do you pivot out of here when you have to re-clear?
You stay. You've got a spy camp set up to watch Garage. And you've got now one off of a Hunter's Fury for Riyadh, but you don't have the ability to immediately exit. You need to stay on site here.
That's all they had the option to do.
Here.
Coco's got no fault line yet, but does have both flashes. They're going to wait for that fault line to come through, and if they can combine it with something like a recon dart, it could be massive. Good push out, extends the play, and scales a little bit deeper for this post plant.
Really great effort from Riyadh. And now He's already cleared the left side. Now from main, the Hunter's Fury to surprise.
Doesn't do it.
And the diffuser is killed to deny Tech to go to sunset.
Attackers win.
Oh my goodness. What a deflating finish for Titan. It looked like they had everything going for them.
For Heretics last year in their runs on so many international events, this was a very, very good map for them. It's a very comfortable ground to be going on heading through the end of this series.
Really cut the heel of a Neon. If you throw the barrier behind, you take away his ability to escape, or even just create such good delay. The importance of Abo, can't speak to it enough.
No. And so with the Neon KO Vice, again, the initiation will look a little bit different for Heretics than it will for Titan. But Lucas will drop first blood. Benji Fishy countered by Abo. Lots of action here at mid as Abo is able to find another right click. Riyadh shows himself at tiles, dealt with the wide swing by Coco. And quickly, we're into a 4v2 in favor of Titan's defense.
Now Tech could have a good dismantle of one of the parts of Heretics. What a 3-2 split. Now still with the blind available for Boo. Soon the smoke goes out. He's not going to take the risk of swinging out, trying to have some good timing, unless he wants to wrap around. But it's all going to depend on if Abo can stop him in his tracks. Either way, the knife thrown from Woot will limit things for Tech, and the paranoia.
It's unfortunate.
To stop that, Coco goes in. And now maybe just to add a distraction, it's a fake and it's Tech wrapping around, and Tech trying to put a smoke in place. And even with the net, with T-Virus leading in, and it's Boo against the world, and Tech finish off what they started with a pistol going their way.
And I love just the early establishment. And again, I don't want to, sell the farm here in round number 1, but Titan showing that they want to battle at mid. So Heretics just not having the weaponry to survive through the retake. But this bonus is a little bit lighter here for Titan due to the nature of round 2's anti-eco. So advantage coming back forward here for Heretics.
Sonic Sensor could be big for Abo if Heretics do decide to commit to B. Whoa. Oh my God, you just bring the parade to mini Boo. Still gets one for his troubles, but
good help.
Now there's, amazing help from Heretics to punish that Tech swarm, and like bees, Tech still sting, and Heretics trade every step of the way.
Yeah, that's really good team help from Heretics, because it did look like Miniboo's timing on that initial peek towards B main was going to get punished. But Titan Esports kind of red dot chasing a little bit on that double chow. Doesn't work out for them. Good supply of support from the cast behind at B main. And the stronger weapons looked like they should win. Lucas will have an isolated 1v1 here around the corner. Clean. Doesn't even take any damage. And that's going to be a rifle upgrade if he so chooses, which he does. Haunt to clear off the front. Still has a seize. That will go next. Crossfire setup, though, is potent, and Boo will spam through, find the win, and Heretics are on the board. Heretics in this full gun round going to show some presence at mid. Toss even an extra smoke that will pull the focus of Titans off of A and back in to make sure mid stays safe as the smoke dissipates. A late barrier mesh is planted. Over towards B main, no command early earn will be spent over towards market, plus now the fast line to try to get in. Just comes down to Kanabo, hold this crossfire.
Yeah, because that barrier, Heretics can't even play through B main. It's just got to be the front charging in against Tech, and the Neon, the breach, it's on the way, and Coco has flashes, but Tech won't be able to prevent the inevitable, and that's the plant. Now the barrier's gone, Heretics can now back play through B main, and the paranoias are huge, but Benji's just better. Playing at a distance, playing safe, and Tech are out of options, out of util, and can't swing together to check both corners. Such a difficult site to retake.
Yeah, and initially, you look at how Titan set themselves up. Paranoia, fast lane, flashpoint all being spent at the same time. You get into the quick play. So not bad in terms of being able to do that with just Sheriffs and a Bucky. But this quick rotation back to market will be uncovered. The knife will stall out Titan a little bit. And okay, Annihilation pulls them back. That's going to be a free kill and a free weapon on top of that. So now you have a numbers advantage. How do you utilize those numbers to try to break down what will be a difficult post plan? And Lucas hits another shot backside of the site. There's no exit for Miniboo. And now Titan have weapon upgrades.
Now a nightfall, but Heretics trying to play together, play for trades, and Rians won't have the space to play the Hunter's Fury. It's just the shots they gotta count, and it's Tech that have numbers. and Blood on their side.
T-Virus on a pogo stick.
What an annihilation, too. That grabs just like the tail end of that KO. That was funny. Thought he just had barely escaped there. To go forward. Heretics with mid-exploration. Oh, just Miniboo has been fast. He's been loose and aggressive, but put down like a dog by Coco. And Tech hold their side of the map. And it's Heretics with the Hunter's Fury. That'll still get Tech dancing. And Boo wins market. And of course, coming through main is that Vice. So Heretics have the site.
Gloves are off here, Jen. This is just a scrap battle. Both teams just throwing their weight around the rink as Coco's able to capitalize onto Riyadh's isolated mid-map, but trying to get back into this post-plant 2v3. No easy task. If you had a Rolling Thunder, maybe there's a chance to break down the post-plant at B, but it looks like they're just going to give this one away and maybe play for an exit. I don't know if they have the time to really even commit to even finding more than just Boo on site. Well, we're going to see. There's the reveal plus the fault line. Boo jumping, avoiding the pre-fire, has a bit of help, and oof, that doesn't feel good. Coco's going to get one consolation kill before exiting, and Heretics respond and get us tied at 3.
Just took too much time for Tech to, didn't allow Tech to confidently swing and get eyes on mid, so yeah, really big waste from Coco when I thought you would have just had that as a last resort for a retake once Heretics eventually get in. That's the one tap. Wow.
Yeah.
Powdong deleted.
Yeah, the sensor doing what it does best, but now the Razor Vine, or the Steel Garden rather, is out. Abo's going to be off of his rifle, trying to stay alive as long as possible. But a quick hit through mid. Luke on the quick pinch through market. Has created something, but yeah, there you go. You scale deep here. That Steel Garden still in play. Rien's, Woot, getting the job done. All down to Lucas, who, well, may have to just get out of here, but Heretics have the crossfire setup, get the final kill, and now go up 5-3 with some financial choices to happen in this next round for Titan.
Marathon, but in the eyes of Miniboo, it's also a sprint. The fastest Neon in the West.
We're in the East.
True.
Depending on how your perspective.
The Middle East, I guess.
Yeah.
Heretics doubling the score from Tech. We're so hilarious.
We're dumb.
We are.
And for Tech, oh, this is one of those moments that better collapse.
Oh.
And it does. And it does. And it does.
Spike down A.
That's Lucas to you.
Go, go, go.
I didn't think he had it in him. He's lazy. He's a laser today. And the ace opportunity, and he does it.
Big.
I did all the work.
Now you've got the Nightfall back into play. That gives you the opportunity to get this thing to, hopefully, if you're a Tech fan, a 6-6 count. Problem is, Heretics have built up their coffers so much that they can afford for pretty much eternity, at least on this half. They're going to be fine for the next 2 rounds. They also have a couple of the key ultimates that are going to be coming up in the following 2 rounds, maybe even in this next one. But Lucas's ace here gets him right back onto a Nightfall. Gives you the opportunity to play more reactionary if you want to. Use that as a chance to kind of break down the post plant.
After a pretty big deficit, what, a 3-9 deficit to Heretics on that map.
Right here.
Miniboo pairs up with Woot. Kind of flash and dash, and you don't even need the util, just cleaner shots from the Heretics cutting the Tech push in mid.
Same kind of story that we saw in the first couple of rounds from the first half, where Titan are saying, yeah, we'll duel you at mid. Pardon the tongue twister. And Heretics like, fine. You know, a little bit easier to try to mitigate and, you know, manage those battles when you're on the defensive side, because you can just choose to back off if you want to. But Sheriff at that range against a Classic, you're like all day, every day of the week, and twice on Sunday. And this is
Spike down.
gonna fall apart pretty quickly. Spike is down. Yeah, Miniboo, little shotgun the way in. Breaking ankles, breaking cameras, and it's on to Lucas. 1v4 with a Ghost, no Spike to play with.
Heretics just get more confident, they get louder, despite the time, but also the pace that they play at. And you're like, yeah, Jen, they're playing Neon, but I'm not seeing that. We're able to take that overtime in stride and kind of accept what happened and just get back to the peak form and a scoreline that I honestly thought we were going to see on the previous map, considering the previous stats. But
That hurts.
now Tech, this is do or die, and it is T-Virus that just dies. Boo holds the corner, and T-Virus just can't lock in when he's such that fast.
Where's the flash? Like, Coco hadn't even set up his flash yet for that poke. It just, they out-trade it, thankfully. But again, it's like Coco's got both flashes available, and we're trying to shell a tight corner without giving ourselves a bit of separation. Chance to scale a little bit deeper here for Lucas. This would be huge if he can find the pick onto Riyadh. Sees the dart, easy follow-up, plus a follow on that to Woot. Now it just comes down to finding Benji Fishy.
Last player standing.
And that might be easier said than done, 1v1.
Oh, Coco has to lock in and end it better than it started, and he does. A better swing for Benji. Could notice, and it's Tech still in it, and it's that must-win rifle round that we talked about, but still need to repurchase a lot of it.
Yep, that's the key. Good reveal off the knife in towards B main, where the Vice Wall is here this round. It was not here last time around, so we'll see if T-Virus continues to use a smoke to try to see if he can clear that front passageway.
See if this Vice can withstand Tekken. Okay. T-Virus is just not getting any luck and any headway, and Tech will have to do it without a duelist this time, and they'll have the Nightfall if they really think they're facing a challenge, but they already have Haodong inserted. The wall comes up, and there's isolations, and Tech trying to get a peek over, but all they see is death. The sniper is a hunter. Rian's the one who saved Haven. Saves the site here for Heretics.
Last player standing.
A pick there could have maybe led to an annihilation and maybe a lifeline in the round. Paranoia comes up a bit short. Coco, good for 2, but nothing more. A difficult 1v4 situation. And another moment that, again, I know it's not at full value there for Titan, but the Vice Wall doesn't fully get scouted out. You commit through it, and you see what happens afterwards.
Rethink how mid went, or how they want to do mid after what happened last round, as much as you want to forget it. Running system, Nightfall through the left, and a reaction from Tech through, or the Heretics through top mid.
Yep.
But it's a good exchange. Woot gets 2. And Tech live on with especially Sheriffs and a Stinger. Did what they can to shoot back against Heretics.
Gotta get a weapon here. Well, it's gonna be a rotate back over for Planet A, but another moment where the Nightfall is used to hit at market. You don't have anything blocking the line of sight at mid, and Heretics are like, all right, you want a Nightfall market, we'll just run that guy away and double peek you at mid. Barrier mesh destroyed, so it's going to be a 3v2. Sheriff and a Stinger, last hopes for Titan.
And it's Tech. They really depend on Coco anchoring this, and Haodong, who is smoked off, and he's gonna swing out. There's Suri in front, and Coco has to work with them for trades, and Haodong muscles 2 with Coco as well. And at 20 HP, Tech still remain here.
Win that A-long position, and that will allow Woot to rotate over, where the Null Command can find tremendous amounts of value if there's another hit towards market. The Vice Wall keeps you focused purely on market, and do we have a flash behind us? There's the Razor Vine. Is there a double swing here? Sure is. And again, where's the follow-up for the support with the flash? It's just not there.
Tech keep trying this mid approach, and it's been really hairy. They're just hoping have a better reaction, because you don't have a Cypher, you don't have as much of a flank watch, or at least you really have to dedicate a whole person to it, and Lucas finds that out the hard way when Miniboo scaled up through A main. Now a wrap through the backside, and look, Heretics are in position to clap back against this, and it's Coco against 4, and Europe simply too strong, and Heretics remain in the group, and we say goodbye to the Titans.
You know, I think there's a lot to take away for Team Heretics here in the overarching, idea of this series. I'll just be interested to see what the vetoes will look like tomorrow versus RRQ, because I don't think RRQ going to look at that result and be like, we can't beat that. So I don't think they veto out Sunset. I think it'll stay there. I would be willing to wager that it's probably going to be the decider again.